You know, one thing that I think a lot of people know you for is your filthy leaks, you know, and you're really good at
Mhm.
it. Um, Here's a question. You don't have to answer it, and I don't mean any offense. You don't break any embargoes, right?
No, I don't even take them anymore.
Yeah, you don't even sign embargo.
Nope.
But someone who's talking to you, your anonymous source, whoever, is probably breaking embargoes, right?
And NDAs, yes.
That's pretty sweet. That's a pretty sweet setup you got there.
Got
I
some layers
mean,
there.
most of the biggest stories that I'm breaking are new games, and those are heavily NDA'd, and those are
Yeah,
heavily
sure.
embargoed. Of course,
Yeah.
there's announcements for all types of shit: new leagues, new games, new teams, new player signings, players going to different teams, like all that types of stuff. But generally, yeah, a lot of people are under NDA, and a lot of people are under embargo, and I will. I make sure to protect my sources. I've never had a source compromised in 20 years of reporting on anything, and I will make sure that no one will ever be in danger of or of anything. I've pissed off pretty much every major publisher and developer that you could think of in the competitive gaming world. Like, I don't spend too much time covering like Nintendo or,
Sure.
Sony and Microsoft. I don't really give a shit so much, but all the usual suspects, the Blizzards and Riots and Valves, have at one time been extremely mad at me or another, usually multiple times over my career.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop you from your ability to cover them. That's what I think's great. Is like, yeah, sure, you may be blacklisted by all of them, but you're still breaking news on all of their games.
Like, I mean, I used
Yeah.
to take embargoes all the time from not just publishers, but like the tournament organizers and some. But like, I would always find out like another way besides the embargo that eventually I was just like, no, I'm not taking your embargo. I'm going to find out your news anyway. I'm sorry that I'm going to have to report it on it and make a leak your really important news that you want to send me beforehand, but you can keep your embargo. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive, and as someone who sits there agreeing to embargoes when I do have them in front of me, I admire your ability to not have to live in a world with them.
Yeah.
And I think you've like really thrived off of it. So I think
Yeah.
there's two schools of thought in I think games press about you. Some of you, there's that internet leaky boy nonsense, that people call you. But I like I said, I just kind of think it's smart. You're not taking any risk, and the people leaking it don't seem to be taking any risk because you're very good about keeping your sources anonymous.
Yes, of course. I have to protect my sources. And these are stories where, like, if I'm breaking a new game that's being released, or I'm talking about like a player signing to another team, it's okay to have anonymous sources because this is pretty standard, especially from the sports industry. Every time a player moves to a new team,
Yeah.
there's no source, being and I don't have to compromise my sources. If I'm ever doing like a much more serious story, I know that I need to have named sources on the docket. But for the type of work that I usually do, having anonymous sources is standard, and it is okay. You know who gets almost as or more mad at me than the publishers, the developers, or the team owners?
Who?
Other journalists.
Yeah.
Because people like you who are signing the embargoes, like, they end up like spending like a whole like month like working with the publisher or working with the agency to like do this big announcement and do this like exclusive interview, and then like I'll come out like a day before or even like hours before the thing they've been working on for forever, and I'll just like release the entire thing and more information than they even got that they were working with whoever it was. And then they'll DM me and be like, dude, you just like fucked my whole story up. I spent all this time doing all this work. Now I'm just like, man, that sucks. That sucks.
You've never got that DM from me.
That is true.
No,
That is very
if
true.
that happens, I mean, that's you doing you, man.
Like, what is Shacknews getting exclusive that Rod's gonna just be like, oh, I got the hot scoop, yo.